so how do you have a conversation where the other side of the aisle has been programmed to do nothing but defame you, and there's no consequences for the defamation? So we're looking at the end of social media. We are going to have to invent something new in transition. So that's going to be another product that we get involved in.
It's going to be all about
Right.
digital ID at some point.
Yeah.
As much as we want to avoid it, and we see what's happening in the UK and how they want to utilize it, digital ID is I'm actually for it because of stuff like this. Actually, one of the team members of Cornucopias built something for me years ago to get all of the bots and the bot comments and stuff off my channel, and it worked. And I won't say who, but somebody shut it down and said that basically the scammers and the bots have rights too. No, I'm not kidding. He showed me a screenshot of the because he tried to challenge it and say, no, this is fine. This is how it works. He had to demonstrate it, and they basically said, no, you can't do that. And in order for it to work, he had to use a part of the conglomerate's system, and they said no. And like they are actively trying to keep a lot of this stuff happening.
Yeah, it's just because they make money from it, because they don't want to admit that half their customers don't exist. They want to broadcast they have 600 million customers when they actually only have 300 million customers, and they want to broadcast their engagement rates where 90% of the engagement is bots.
Right.
So you need to start building a human-centric web, and I think that's the only way is using blockchain. So I encourage people to check out that video, but that also excites me that we can solve that problem. That's a big problem. The agentic commerce problem is a big problem, and the human web is a big problem. Solving
Human
that
web.
problem.
I love that term.
Yeah, it's like the human part of the internet. It used to be 100% humans.
Right.
Now it's half humans, half bots, and by 2030 it'll be 95% bots and 5% humans. The vast majority of people just aren't real. And it's deranging people. It really is, because if every interaction you have is in a certain direction or negative or toxic, your brain isn't built to know, implicitly that that's not real. It thinks it's real. And so what happens to your brain is you start reacting accordingly. And every study that's come out of major universities shown that this is causing like a mass neurosis, especially amongst Gen Z and Gen Alpha. You can't talk
100%.
to a Gen Z kid anymore, man.
No.
They're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's so hard. They're just weird shut-ins, and you can't hire them because they're just so fucked up from 24/7 exposure on all these platforms.
They think that's the world around them, and they're so desensitized to the toxicity of everything that it just becomes a part of who you are, and so you just don't even see it anymore.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's another one we're going to solve. So after we get RealFi and Quantum Hosky, those are the two big ones for next year, and we'll have some surprise announcements. All we always do, and just all the Cardano stuff, getting Laos out and keep building up the ecosystem, and obviously Bitcoin DeFi and getting Midnight to its fullest extent. That's one we're going to start very aggressively looking at, is how to roll up a lot of concepts like DIDs and prediction markets and veracity bonds and AI and proof of human and all this other stuff to create a human web, a human internet. And Lace is a really good launching platform for that, because it's built into the browser. It's easy to use. You can launch into kind of a bespoke social network with economic agency behind it and have real conversations with real people, and actually have perfect forward secrecy for off the record conversations that don't get recorded forever by dystopian governments and used against you 10 years later and shit like that. It's so bad. There's backdoors everywhere. There's no privacy. It's just so bad, especially if you understand the technology. Like, we have all these cryptographers and information security people, and we understand how it works. And when we see under the hood how bad the surveillance state has become, Google knows your daughter's pregnant before you know. Google knows you have cancer before you know you have cancer. It's so crazy the amount of information these companies have. That has to stop. And you can't solve it in one protocol. Midnight gives you your privacy back, but then you also need an interface layer for social networks. So that's going to be a real fun one. And then I'd love for you to own your own customers. You're a content producer. I want every person who watches you to be your relationship, not YouTube's relationship or Twitter's relationship.
Used to be that way.
Yeah.
Right.
But now they can deplatform you at any time. If you don't talk about the COVID vaccine the right way or whatever, then suddenly you're gone. We all saw that in 2020 and 2021.
Well, Charles, it really has been a pleasure to have you back, man. It's been a while. Don't be such a stranger. And anytime we're in the same neck of the woods, we'll have to go close down that bar together.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Well, come up to the clinic one of these days, especially when we get the stem cells a little further along. I know you probably got some old fighting injuries you want to get treated, and we can chat and I show you everything there. And one of my buddies actually opened up an MMA gym there. It's going to be called the Forge. So if you
oh,
want to roll
nice.
with him, he'll roll with you. We got a lot of people in that community that want to come over and hang out and do hyperbarics and stem cells.
I bet you do. It sounds great. When you first brought it up to me, I'm like, I definitely need something like that. Just from being so big. Even fight history aside, just being such a big dude in my late 40s, I feel everything. It's even hard for me to roll jujitsu nowadays. Honestly, I feel like a cripple the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then my wife wants to go out to Colorado. She was just in Denver for a dance competition. So at some point she's like, we have to go out. We have to go out there. You have to see it. It's actually really nice. So I don't know. Maybe someday we'll end up taking a trip. Um,
Yeah.
but
All right.
yeah, man. Hmm?
We'll see you soon. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Until next time, crow your coins, and we'll see you tomorrow with the Cornucopias team. Some really, really big stuff is happening tomorrow, and you can't wait to see it. Until next time, crow your coins. See you guys soon.
Cheers.